Saturday night, we were having a dinner with friends. So there was just 4 of us. But we were having an arugula salad with vinaigrette, some seasoned, blistered tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, and strips of filet mignon.
Okay.
Really
nice.
good. Really good. And all of a sudden, my wife's like, I don't know what happened. I'm looking at the receipt. The arugula is on the receipt, but I cannot. There's no arugula. It's not in the bag.
Oh.
I'm like, did you look in the car? And she said, yeah, I looked in the car. And so we had to go back out and get arugula. Otherwise, no arugula salad.
It's kind of hard to do that, yeah.
And then this morning, that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This morning, I get in the car, and I'm like, what in the hell is that smell?
You found the arugula, huh?
I just want you guys to smell what I smelled this morning. Oh, yeah. We'll take a little whiff of that.
Well, arugula's kind of strong and bitter anyway.
It is until it sits in a hot car. This has turned... Can you smell it yet? Get a little over there. It'll clear your nostrils up. It's terrible. It's bad. We're going to throw it out in the dumpster.
What, she had taken your car?
Apparently, I didn't know that. She had taken my car. So I'm searching in her car, and I'm like, I don't see it anywhere.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
It was in my car behind, falling down behind the seat. What a smell. And you're right. Arugula lasts longer than...
It does.
Than regular lettuce. But when it is...
When it's bad, it's bad.
When it's bad, it's bad. And it's bad. Nonetheless, all right, coming up, we'll do news, and then we'll speak with Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio, as Russia is threatening the UK over their support for Ukraine. Hopefully, we step up and say, good luck with that, Russia. I hope we do. You never know this day and age. Let me go before, we'll kind of do this in reverse order. Before we go to Manaski and news, let's go to Ray Stachik from the Weather Channel. Ray, good morning.
Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Well, listen, yesterday, picture perfect day. This was just beautiful. So are we in for more of the same?
We will be. It probably won't be today, though.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, we're off to, beautiful start. A lot of 50s around, 46 in one of the coldest areas we usually see this time of year, and even in the wintertime, that's up at Saranac Lake. And so in the nooks and crannies, there are some 40s around, but most of us, as we walk it in closer to town and up and down the Mohawk Valley, basically in the 50s, there are some 60s, but it's a good start. But off to our west, coming across the lakes right now, Ontario, Lake Erie, area Buffalo and Rochester, starting to see some showers, probably even a little bit of thunder in there. So over the next several hours, probably later this morning into the afternoon, we'll start to see that wet weather approach.
All right. So we get through today, and then things look pretty good. I'm looking at least on my app, upper 70s, low 80s,
Sure.
really into the future here.
Yeah, we get past today, tonight. There might be a couple of showers around tomorrow. We'll be in real nice shape, I think, Friday, the best of the next several days. We're only around 80 degrees for a daytime high. And the weekend, there might be some wet weather around. So I think we're going to be cool, but from time to time, for a period of days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, there may be some passing showers at times, but it does look like, as I like to say, it's probably plenty more dry than it is going to be wet. So that's good. So we don't really cancel outdoor plans. The best chances for showers and thunder look like it's going to be on Sunday. And then really, as we get into next week, not bad. Maybe some showers early in the week. And you're talking about maybe some low 70s Monday and Tuesday, then back to the mid to upper 70s for the rest of the week. And maybe to finish off, I can't believe I'm going to say the month.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? We're almost through August with lows at night in the 50s. No complaints. And you've probably seen it on the interwebs. There's, chatter amongst the meteorologists in the Northeast about we may not hit 90 again. Well, I don't know about this year, but that's what some are saying. And we may not. There's always that September little kind of surprise.
Yep.
But now it doesn't look like in the next 7 to 10 days.
We have the it's starting late this year because Labor Day is late, but the New York State Fair, the great New York State Fair, is underway starting next Wednesday. And sometimes they get hammered with just 90-degree weather, thunderstorms, and it looks like the weather is just going to be picture perfect for the fair.
Yeah, it looks real good. As I said, we'd be close to 80. I mean, give or take. I mean, not too far away, Syracuse, right? And it looks like it's going to continue as we head through the next few days. Yeah, I always had that on my bucket list, and I never made it. I never made it out there. I always used to do Dutchess County Fair, but never did the state fair.
Yeah, a lot of interesting. It's an agricultural fair, but it's I always enjoy the carnies. The carnies are my favorite part. Walking by the carnies. So.
Yeah, and the weather should be good. I mean, you're not going to go every day, maybe without a passing shower, but as we'd said, the rain chances are low. The temperatures are, I'd like to say, reasonable for this time of year. And I don't see 90. I don't see maybe anything above 80.
And then finally, everywhere I turn, somebody's doing a clickbait story on is it La Nina, El Nino, or whatever they're...
Oh, you mean the super El Nino.
Super, right. We're going to get hammered in a certain way. And what does it all mean?
So what it all means is basically the Pacific Ocean water temperatures are above normal. That's what an El Nino is, but they are potentially going to be the warmest they've been since we've been tracking. I think it's 1850. So that could mean, maybe a slightly milder winter, maybe a wetter winter for some in the Northeast and New England, because it brings a storm track. It could lead to more opportunities for East Coast storms. But again, it's all about that's what typically happens in an El Nino. And now this is a super El Nino, so does it increase the chances of that happen or not? The bottom line is, I always say, now I can refer to last hurricane season, was forecast to be an above average season and ended up below normal. So I'm more of a let's just wait and see.
Let's just wait and see. Last night, our news, our news, we record the news every night. Our news did not record last night. So now let's go an hour time zone back and pick it up in an hour at 7:30 our time, 6:30 Houston time. So as I'm watching the end of the Houston news, their meteorologist came on, and they're saying that never before have they had a season where they didn't have at least one hurricane, and the belief is that this might be that season. So far, they've not had a hurricane. Yeah,
it's we're going to be on the. They had Cristal, though, because the sea storm formed over the central Atlantic. That was a tropical storm. Yeah, so far, nothing. But now we're getting into, though, that time of year.
Late August,
September 10th, the peak. September, October can be, climatologically, they are the busiest months. So.
And I never saw him walk over to a desk and knock on wood, not once. Bad move. So
it is.
All right, Ray, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Ray Stajik with the Weather Channel. Davey, is he out there? Can you come here just quickly for a second? I need your help just before we go to news. I do need your help. I'm opening up the arugula. Davey, can you just throw that out in the dumpster? Can you smell it? Once again, no words from Davey, a growl, but no words. The smell is
looked like a cartoon character with that face.
Horrific. Here's Manasseh.
Wouldn't it be El Stupende El Nino?
El Stupende El Nino. Yeah.
Why do we only say part of it in Spanish?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like you're right. It's like super El Nino. Why don't we go all the way?
Well, and I want to know sometimes it's El Nino. And sometimes it's La Nina. So sometimes it's male, sometimes it's female.
Well, and they're different storms. They're different
types of storms?
Well, I'm not sure that's a storm. It's a front more than a storm, but they're different.
The weather system itself isn't trans, is it?
It might be. It might be. Right. You got to get it right.
Sorry, I did pick that scab, didn't I?
Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong because you'll be in trouble.
57 degrees with some sunshine. It is 6:37. Good morning. President Trump is pausing a planned wave of tariffs that was set to hit Canada overnight. In a social media posting, Trump said that he had paused the 50% duties of 3 days because the two countries have a deal. Pending the documentation, he offered no specifics about the agreement, aside from suggesting the Keystone XL pipeline may be awoken from the grave. Byron Donalds is the projected winner of the Republican primary for Florida governor. Donalds will face former Congressman David Jolly in the midterms. Additionally, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is projected the winner of the Democratic primary for Florida's 20th congressional district. Schultz will face Republican Brent Anderson in the midterms. The two leading candidates, meanwhile, in Alaska, U.S. Senate primary are heading to the November election. In the Alaska primary, candidates from all parties compete on the same ballot, with the top four advancing to the general election. On Tuesday, NBC projected that Democrat Mary Peltola will face off against Republican Dan Sullivan. The teen convicted of murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet last year in Texas is back in court today. On Wednesday, attorneys for Carmelo Anthony will be arguing for a new judge to oversee the 19-year-old's appeal, which takes place on Thursday. Anthony's lawyers argue that the trial judge made prejudicial statements in an interview after Anthony was found guilty and sentenced to 35 years in prison. And today is World Orangutan Day. Did I say that right? Orangutan? Orangutan. Yeah. There's no G at the end, though.
I don't know. Maybe I've been mispronouncing
It's kind of
it
a
wrong.
tomato thing.
Yeah. Orangutan.
It's held each August 19th to bring attention to the red-haired primate and to raise awareness of the dangers they face by deforestation and the exotic pet trade. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:40. Bill, we have a little bit of sunshine and 57 degrees.
Pleasant morning, and that's going to lead to a fairly decent day today. I say that because later, toward 4 or 5 o'clock, there may be a couple of showers, thunder showers around, but percentage-wise, most of the day, sun and clouds. 80 should do it. Chance of a shower, thunderstorm early tonight. Upper 50s, which puts the Adirondacks in the low to mid-50s. Sun back tomorrow, very pleasant. Upper 70s as the front clears. Even cooler by Friday morning, then sun in the afternoon. 80, chance of showers over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
57 degrees at 6:40.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
And now, Babbel proudly presents The Cat Chat.
Bonjour, monsieur. Yes, hi. I'm staying in room 22, and I was wondering if there was anyone I could chat with about my sheets. They seem to be making me just really itchy.
Pardon, vous avez dit chat?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I just want to chat with maybe like the cleaning service, see which detergent they use. Just a chat.
Chat.
Please, I'm so itchy.
Un instant, s'il vous plaît. Mathis, j'ai un client qui demande un chat.
Oh, my goodness. I thank you. It's just a chat, really just a...
Voilà.
What?
Sir, you requested a cat to scratch you.
Traveling mistakes can really be absurd. Learn to speak like the locals with Babbel, and no one will mistake your chat for a cat.
Sir, please. Your cat.
Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to get up to 50% off. BABBEL.com.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET. Yay, yay!
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Coming up, we'll speak with Jonathan Savage from Fox News. Get the latest on this Russia thing. Russia. And Beth Irons is in this morning. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning.
How about, did you see, and I did not know, this was a big story yesterday, I did not know that Columbia House was still around. Davey, Davey, you'll know all this.
I didn't know either until I saw that on the
news. Yeah. Columbia House, if you remember, what came before the Time Life music subscription. So Time Life, they'd have these really cool box sets, and you'd buy into those. But Columbia House was this thing, and you'd see it was always in TV Guide. And they would also send it to you, and you pick it up, and they'd have a whole listing of record albums, cassettes, 8-track tapes, records, and then later CDs.
Did you have a lot of Columbia House when you did your DJ service?
I'm going to tell you, it's not something that was talked about, but Columbia House, the records were cheaper. They were flimsy. And
what do you mean by flimsy?
They were thinner.
Oh, okay.
They were just flimsy. When you bought a record
they would break easily?
Not that they would break easily, but they were just chintzy. Is that a good word? Chintzy?
Sure.
It's not racist, is it?
I don't think so.
I don't want to offend the chintzes. But it was, I don't know. It was kind of, you can't tell. When they put out records, they were flimsy. They were thin. And Columbia House, it's almost like the record companies gave them a lower grade so they could sell it for less. But here was the problem.
It's the Walmart effect, right?
It's kind of like that. Here's the problem. That you would, for 1 penny, you would get, how much was it? For 1 penny, you'd get 12 records or 12 CDs or 12 8-track tapes.
Yep.
Or 12 cassettes, whatever you decided to do. So, and they'd ship them right to your house. And you'd be like, wow, I have it made. And it wasn't the greatest selection in the world, I just want to tell you. Sometimes you'd select you got to 8, and you're like, now I'm selecting stuff I don't really want.
Right.
But hey, it's free, right? It's free.
Essentially.
And then the next time you'd get a record in the mail automatically, and you'd have to ship them back if you didn't want it. But it was like, I don't know, $28 or $18 or something. It was more than you would pay for the actual record if you'd buy it in the store.
Right.
And flimsy. It was just flimsy, I thought. So that was the Columbia House. Now, what I did not know is that apparently there's a group of old people out there that still use Columbia House. And at the end of this month, they are closing down.
I can't believe the company still exists, to be honest with you. How did they make money off of that? Just that one follow-up sale of $28?
I think the records were flimsy, so they got them for cheaper. They probably got some, I don't know if they were ever tied to Columbia Records or not. I don't know. But you made your money when they were selling it for a premium price. And remember, you'd have to ship it back if you didn't want it. It would automatically come to you. So if you didn't want it, you'd have to put it back into a package and then pay for postage to return it.
So this is the first example that popped into my mind. You had talked about a promotion that you got kind of looped into. They were offering a real discount on a car wash.
But
if you didn't unsubscribe, it hit you for I don't know what, however much.
It was like $50.
It was like $50 the next month. Mm-hmm. Was that the deal here? Could you just get 12 CDs for a penny and then unsubscribe before the next month came and just walk out with that only?
I believe so.
Only paying 1 penny.
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
Certainly, that's how they get you. They get you on the not renewal.
But I do not remember that. But we'll talk more about that coming up. Also, coming up, if you have auto insurance with State Farm, boy, do I have news for you.
Yeah,
did you see this?
I didn't, but I'm a customer, so I pay the bill every month. If that's where you're going.
Boy, do I have news for you. It's coming up. Hold tight on that. Let me go to Jonathan Savage with Fox News Radio. Jonathan, good morning. Russia threatening the UK over their support for Ukraine. I will preface this by saying this would be a really good time for the United States to step up and say we have their back. Why do I think we're going to hear today? They should have been helping us with the Iran war. I'm not sure. What do we know here, Jonathan? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is all about British-made drones reportedly being used by Ukraine for strikes deep inside Russian territory. We have seen huge drone attacks by Ukraine on Russia in recent weeks, and these are involving, it would appear, drones made and supplied by the United Kingdom. That has annoyed the Russians, and the Russian embassy in the UK has accused Britain of deliberately escalating the war. In a post, the embassy says London's actions will inevitably carry consequences for which it will have to answer. The British Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, says that the UK is doing what it always said it would do, support Ukraine 100%.
6 years late on this, aren't they?
Yeah. Listen, I completely agree with the UK on this one. Let's continue to support. And by the way, Ukraine is not asking to be bombed. This whole thing about escalating the war, actually, what the UK is doing is keeping Ukraine alive.
Yeah, I mean, Ukraine always points out that they didn't start this war, that they were invaded by Russia in February 2022, and all they want is for Russian forces to withdraw and for Ukraine to be left alone and able to make its own decisions about its future. What Ukraine's strategy at the moment is, it's kind of two-pronged. They want to damage the machinery Russia has to wage war, oil refineries, military facilities, weapon storage, logistics centers, so it's using drones and missiles to do that. This developing capability Ukraine has managed to evolve. And the second aspect of what they're doing is psychological. They want Russian people to realize that this is not something happening far away. They want Russian people to get upset with the war and turn on Vladimir Putin.
I think that's a good strategy. And by the way, so far, I believe it has worked, it seems, based on what we're hearing coming out of Russia.
Yeah, it does seem. It's hard to get much information about what Russian people truly think, but it does appear as though that the war is becoming less and less popular in Russia. It of course is described as a special military operation by the Kremlin. That is the term they use rather than a war. They certainly don't say that they invaded Ukraine. They say they went in there to protect Russian interests, and people assumed it would be over in a matter of days, weeks at the longest, but here we are 4.5 years later, and Ukraine is certainly holding its own right now.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. We appreciate it, Jonathan. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Jonathan Savage with Fox News Radio. Here's a story we had this week, and it was from Siena polling, where Kathy Hochul is now 10 points ahead of Bruce Blakeman. She was 25 points ahead, and now it's 10 points in August, which would mean I'd be pretty happy if I was Blakeman right now.
Yeah,
and the numbers are stacked against him, but he's within range here.
He also was indicating, I believe, one of the previous times he appeared on the program, that he didn't trust or believe the Siena polls, said it was weighted too heavily Democratic.
That's what they all say, and that's fine. I think Siena is pretty accurate. However, polling in general has been suspect, I guess. But nonetheless, he should be happy with 10%, and deep down, he is. He's just not saying that.
Well, I was going to say,
he wants you to believe that he thinks he's ahead of her,
right?
Which he's not. But I'll take that 10%, and you should be happy with that, because here's the next move. This is big news. Whether this actually comes to fruition or not, the story now is that Kathy Hochul has agreed to debate, at least one debate, with Bruce Blakeman.
Okay.
Now, that would never happen if she was still 25 points up.
You're probably right that it wouldn't. I think it is discouraging, though, that it wouldn't.
I agree, but the incumbent doesn't want to give any more name recognition or whatever, but unless you feel like you need to do it. And I don't know, your thoughts on Kathy Hochul and Bruce Blakeman going head-to-head. I think that's going to be a tough debate for Kathy Hochul. Especially being the incumbent, and she has everything on the record. Whereas, I get it. Blakeman is a county executive. She can point to things that were done there, but some of what has happened in New York is very questionable for moderates and certainly Republicans.
Yeah, so I agree with that point there, but I bet you that I think Kathy Hochul can argue her way out of some of these changes and these policies, or at least put, how would you say this, put a
bow on it.
A bow on it?
A lipstick on a pig.
Yes.
Okay.
I think she can handle herself probably in a debate, and I'm not saying that I agree with her policies or that what you're saying is inaccurate, but I think she's been doing this long enough. I mean, she answers some tough questions in press conferences, though, without saying, yes, my policies suck,
Well, I mean, there's a reason why she'll never come on this show or anybody that's not friendly. She doesn't want to get into it. Donna this morning says, I'm pretty sure you had to buy 6 records within the next year. That was your agreement.
Okay.
You had to buy 6 records within the next year in order to be in order to get the 12. So now if you got to buy 6, it kind of makes sense that you're basically getting 2 free for each one that you buy. Does that make sense? Was that what it would be?
Yeah.
Because you're getting 12.
Yeah.
Okay, Donna, thanks for that. Mike, Bernie Taupin of Elton John fame. I don't want to give that away. Okay, I'm not going to say anything because it might be an upcoming question. I may have just thrown out a hint. For a free money question. Okay, are you ready? Are you a State Farm customer?
I am, and look, I see the stories that say car insurance costs in New York State are twice the national average, but I can tell you in the last 5 years, I think every cycle, I'm on like a 6-month, every 6 months it just auto renewals, and I've been there ever since I got my first vehicle at 16. It has gone up almost every single period. It goes up basically twice a year for the last 5 years. Ballpark, maybe 4 years.
So I'll have a story on this later today, but if you are a State Farm customer of automobile insurance, they have had such a huge year, they are giving up a dividend.
Really?
And you State Farm automobile insurance customers are expected to be receiving a check, and they'll be going out soon. Could be up to $100.
Okay.
Now I got to tell you though, that's not bad. It's not like Hochul saying, "I'm going to send everybody a big rebate check so you feel better about your power bills and you get $300."
Yeah.
This is $100. That's not terrible, and it's out of the blue. It's what you'd never expected to get it.
Look, that's fair. I don't think this has ever happened before. But I mean, look, just lower the rates. How about that?
That would be nice, right? That would be nice.
Same thing with the National Grid situation. Hey, we raised your bill 35%. So over the course of the year, I don't know, would you pay an extra $500, $600, $800,000?
Right.
We're going to send you a check for $100.
Yeah.
Great. And then you're going to still overcharge me $500, $600, $800, $1,000 next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll take the $100, but just lower your rate.
Yeah. Fair enough. Do you not want the 100? Want me to tell them not to?
I'll take the $100.
All right. I'll have that story up later, but only if you are a State Farm Auto. Are you a State Farm Auto?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Oh, you're a very progressive person.
I get
no.
Yes, I am.
You are. Okay, good.
I get the multi-discount. I got the hospital thing. If you go to the hospital for some reason, then my house is insured through them as well. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you've bundled.
I've bundled.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
We just recently left State Farm. I said, screw them. I am no longer with State Farm. And because I'm sorry, maybe we were with the wrong agent, but the service was horrific. They canceled our homeowners insurance for a technicality, which had to do with the death of my wife's mother, and never a missed payment, anything like that. And they canceled it, and no one even called us, and then argued with us about it. The local agency argued with us about it. So they made it easy because they canceled us and said what we were trying to do we couldn't do. So we went to forgo, and we did what we were trying to do because we could do it. We knew we could do it. My wife knew the law more than our agent knew the law. So State Farm, see ya. I'm not getting your $100 check, and I don't want it.
So
I save over $100 a month because I'm not with you anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I would rather have that. So we just got a message. It says it's because they are a mutual company, and all of the policyholders are shareholders. I did not realize that. So
apparently they didn't want to share with us though. So screw them.
Almost 27 years I've been paying cars. So am I to assume this has never happened before? Because I don't ever remember getting a check like this.
I've never seen anything like this happen before. It might be the type of thing where they have to do it. I don't.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Byron Donalds could make history. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Republican congressman wins a primary in Florida, trying to become the state's first black governor.
Tonight, we put aside our differences. Tonight, we are one united Republican Party.
Donalds will face David Jolly, who used to be a Republican in Congress, now a Trump critic who won the Democratic primary for governor. A Democratic socialist scored an upset in Florida. Angie Nixon, who was outspent 16-1, defeated Alex Vindman, who to win the Democratic Senate primary to challenge GOP Senator Ashley Moody.
But progressives did see a loss in the 25th congressional district, where DSA-backed candidate Oliver Larkin failed to prevail against the incumbent Jared Moskowitz. Moskowitz saying in a statement, Democratic voters sent a clear message. I faced a challenge from the DSA. They threw everything at me, and I didn't change who I am or what I believe.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. A Republican congressman was primaried out. Corey Mills, the 11th House incumbent defeated this year. Mills, who's under an ethics investigation, lost to GOP challenger Ryan Elijah. In Alaska, Democrat Mary Peltola finished first in a Senate primary. Republican incumbent Dan Sullivan was second. They and two others advanced in November in a ranked choice voting contest. Canada is not being hit with big new tariffs this morning.
The president releasing a statement just hours before the tariffs were supposed to take effect, writing on Truth Social. I have paused the 50% tariffs against Canada for a 3-day period based on the fact that Canada and the USA, subject to the finalization of documents, have a deal.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Stalemate remains in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump insists it's open and the U.S. controls it.
Immediately after the statement by the president about the Strait of Hormuz, Iranian officials denied the critical waterway is open. Now, the Iranians did launch multiple attacks on vessels there over the weekend.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 Mike Rowe. And yes, I told you so.
We mentioned primary results in Florida and Alaska. They also voted in a very red state, Wyoming.
Congresswoman Trump-backed Harriet Hageman is going to face Democrat and former state representative James Byrd for the seat held by Senator Cynthia Lummis, who's retiring. Hageman was first elected to Congress in 2022 after defeating former Representative Liz Cheney. Republicans selecting State Senator Eric Barlow in a four-way primary as their nominee for governor in the race to succeed outgoing Governor Mark Gordon. He'll face Democrat Kenneth Kastner in the November general election. President Trump carried the state of Wyoming by nearly 46 percentage points in 2024, his largest margin in any state. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
There is an empty cell on death row in Florida after the state's 13th execution this year. William Silva was convicted of murdering his estranged wife in 2006, and in his last words before the lethal injection, Silva claimed it was an accident. A convicted killer in Australia in prison for life is appealing in a case that got worldwide attention.
Erin Patterson's lawyer says there were major errors during her original trial. The Australian was convicted of murdering 3 relatives and trying to kill another by serving beef Wellington pastries made with poisonous mushrooms. The dead included her estranged husband's parents and aunt.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. On Wall Street, stock futures down not by much, coming off 3 straight sell-offs. The Dow dropped over 100 points. The Nasdaq plunged 355. In baseball, a Brewers blowout for the record books.
Uh-oh. Is this number 1? Lara deep to left. And it is number 1 in the big leagues for Luis Lara.
And he picked quite a night, did his first career home run on Brewers TV. Milwaukee didn't just shut out Seattle. They beat the Mariners 22-0, tying the Major League record for the most lopsided shutout ever. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Well, some sunshine trying to poke through the clouds, 59 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaske, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A 21-year-old motorcyclist was killed in a crash on State Route 8. State police say the accident happened around 9:30 yesterday morning in the town of Ohio. The 21-year-old victim was driving a motorcycle northbound when he failed to make a right-hand curve. The motorcycle crossed the center line and struck a tractor-trailer driven by James Day of Canada. A drug recognition expert determined that the tractor-trailer driver was not impaired. The name of the victim has not been released. State police are continuing their investigation. SUNY Morrisville has a new president. The State University Board of Trustees voting to appoint Dr. Michelle Coach as the college's 9th president. Her term begins later this month. Coach is currently the dean of the School of Science, Technology, and Engineering and Mathematics at Connecticut State Community College. A story we told you about last week, an unlatched kennel door is being blamed for what led to the death of an Albany County Sheriff canine. That's according to investigators who say all signs indicate that the door of Casey's kennel was not properly latched. The 8-year-old bloodhound was reported missing on Saturday. She was found dead Sunday morning in the median of the New York State Thruway after being struck by a vehicle. The Herkimer County Fair getting underway. That will continue through Sunday. The New York State Fair kicks off next week. Be listening later this hour for your chance to win tickets on First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX. A Utica woman facing a felony weapon charge after an altercation in Clayville. The United County Sheriff's Office alleges that 33-year-old Shauna Wilcox of Utica was arrested on Monday after an investigation into a domestic incident earlier this month. Investigators say Wilcox had been involved in a physical altercation with a resident of the home there, and during that confrontation, she allegedly struck the victim and used an electronic stun gun. Because of the nature of the allegations, the case was turned over to the Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Unit for further investigation. Wilcox is charged with a felony count of criminal possession of a weapon, along with menacing, which is a Class B misdemeanor. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Pleasant morning, and that's going to lead to a fairly decent day today. I say that because later, toward 4 or 5 o'clock, there may be a couple of showers, thunder showers around, but percentage-wise, most of the day, sun and clouds. 80 should do it. Chance of a shower thunderstorm early tonight. Upper 50s, which puts the Adirondacks in the low to mid-50s. Sun back tomorrow. Very pleasant. Upper 70s as the front clears. Even cooler by Friday morning. Then sun in the afternoon. 80. Chance of showers over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Some clouds and 59 degrees at 7:09. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Yankees win, Mets lose. The Yankees beat the Orioles in their series opener, a final of 3-1. Trent Grisham led the way, going 2 for 4 with a solo homer and 3 RBIs. The Yankees have won back-to-back games and continue that series tonight. The Mets should have beat the Padres last night, but they come up short 5-2. Zach Thornton took the loss. The Mets had won 4 straight. They wrap up their 3-game series today. Am I correct that Lindor got robbed of a grand slam by Fernando Tatis?
I believe so, and that would have been a whole different outcome.
Yeah. What if?
I mean,
how many times you say that as a Mets fan?
I mean, I got to tell you, the fact that they're in every game right now since the winningest team in Major League Baseball right now since the trade deadline is the New York Mets. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, it's a short sample, though. It's like
it's a short sample, but listen, what have they won?
12 of 16,
something like that. I mean, that's if we played like this all year long, we'd be in it. We'd be in it.
So a couple of heart-wrenching stories in the NFL. Ravens defensive end Calais Campbell addressing a tough situation for the first time publicly yesterday. He asked for continued support and prayers for his family after their recent tragedy. Campbell's brother, Ciari, remains in custody after being charged with the murder of their mother. His family told police that he struggled with mental illness. Meanwhile, Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy says that his wife is on the road to recovery after she was shot by their son. This happened earlier in spring training. Bieniemy has progressed enough to give her Mia Bieniemy has progressed enough to give her blessing to his return to football. The couple's son is facing charges connected to that incident. Back on the field, the Giants signing veteran running back Najee Harris to a 1-year contract. Harris is still working his way back from a torn Achilles suffered last year while playing with the LA Chargers. And the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, has a bullish outlook on the league's global growth. Speaking to a German broadcaster, RTL, Goodell said there will eventually be teams located outside the United States, with the Super Bowl to be played overseas. The NFL will play a record 9 international games this season, including the first ever contest in Australia.
With the Super Bowl to be played
during
overseas. I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah. So
I mean, now that the average American is going to the Super Bowl.
That is true, but I will say this. I remember last year the last few years, people have been quite upset about the halftime show. Does this person speak English? Are any of their songs in English?
Well, now you know why all this is going on.
Well, yeah, not only that, but I mean, whoever the halftime act is, I'd rather have the Super Bowl here in the States. Again, this is like, this is an American sport. American fans have nurtured it and invested in it, and now we watch it they cater to other countries.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. What I find interesting, though, is that you see, I mean, we're kind of fighting this globalization thing, and it's America first where we are right now, and we're coming back from all of the expansion of a world economy, a world this, a world that. Yet our businesses, our corporations, they understand where the world is really going, and they understand that it's smaller. And even the NFL, Major League Baseball, look at how it's expanded beyond the United States. If you see money and you see more money, that's what kind of attracts them.
Yeah,
the capitalism way.
I wonder at what point the American fan base begins to dwindle or stops, going up the ladder as far as growth. Because you said, if there's a chance to make money, and I get that, that's capitalism, but it's like every time there's a game on Thursday or Sunday or Monday or a holiday, you got to put money down to watch the game.
I kind of wonder if they're looking at if they're looking at the World Cup, because you really look at how huge the World Cup is. It's so much bigger than our Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because it's worldwide. I think sports like baseball and football look at that and say we could have some of that. Can we? I don't know. It remains to be seen. We'll see where we are in 20 years. That'll be interesting. If we're all still here, you'll be here.
You'll be a fan of the Bosnian Bills. They'll move them out to Buffalo, not
exactly
Canada.
Right.
They'll move them out to some other
at least
country.
The Bills have now this investment that keeps them in Buffalo. That's nice and controversial.
Right. Team USA. What they played? The Bosnia Herzegovina. Was that it? The Bosnia Herzegovina Bills.
I like it.
I was going to say coming to New York. It's actually leaving New York.
Attorney Jeremy Rosenthal in the Rosenthal Report. He picks a topic every week, and we break it down. And it's Facebook. Meta is going to be the topic, I believe, this week. We'll get to it coming up. Hold tight at WIBX.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET. Yay!
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Summer has a way of flying by, doesn't it? 1 minute you're planning vacations, the next you're trying to squeeze in one last trip to Sylvan Beach before backpacks replace beach bags. Around here, your vehicle is more than just a way to get around. It's how you make memories. It's the ride to the New York State Fair, the back-to-school shopping run, and before long, those weekends filled with apple picking at North Star Orchards and Utica Comets hockey games. No matter where the season takes you, you deserve the confidence that comes from knowing your vehicle is ready for the miles ahead. Right now at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, purchase any 4 Bridgestone tires and receive a $150 rebate. There's no better time to replace worn tires and be ready for everything fall has in store. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair has been driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Yorkville, Utica, Rome, or Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories season after season.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks. In America, there's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutters' top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Start your mornings with sharp insight and straight talk from me, Brian Kilmeade. Weekdays right after Keeler in the morning, don't miss the Brian Kilmeade Show, breaking down the biggest stories in politics, business, and culture with the voices shaping the headlines. From Washington power players to everyday Americans, we ask the questions you want answered. Miss it during the week? Catch the weekend edition Saturday morning at 7. The Brian Kilmeade Show right after Keeler on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
what it is. I'm doing like 9 things at once today for some reason. Got to settle in. Stop doing other things. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time now. Very special moment that we do each and every week. It is our segment that we call the... You can barely hear it. Rosenthal Report. Jeremy Rosenthal is our man. He is in fact, I was watching Houston television last night because we had missed the news here, so we were picking it up an hour later. And I was trying to see, there were commercials about all these attorneys. And every time the attorney got done, the commercial ended with me saying, whack job. Because I know the real attorney is Jeremy Rosenthal. There is no other. I don't know. Do you cover Houston?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, for the right flavor of case, we'll do it.
Yeah, the money's right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So we'll do it. I mean, we don't do for $1 billion bucks. I'll go anywhere.
Absolutely, so we'll absolutely. Okay, so I got to say this Meta trial, man. I have so much. Why am I one of the few people out there that seems to be on Facebook's side or Meta's side on this whole thing?
I don't know, man. You're for the machines and against the trees. I mean, you're okay.
I guess that's me. Yeah, I guess that's me. I just feel like we, everything we do, every business out there is trying to get people to buy more. Every radio station is trying to get people to listen more. Every television station doing the same thing. Every movie wants more people to come in and watch the movie. So I feel like we're all doing this, and at every step there's always if it's about kids, and I understand these are very terrible stories. Don't get me wrong, but there are parents there that should be setting limits. We've been talking about setting limits on internet and social media for years now. It's Meta's fault. I think we have a shared responsibility here.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, and I think a lot of folks would agree with that. If your kids are, and just the big parallel here that everybody likes to compare this to is tobacco, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, is it the tobacco company's fault that your kids smoke, or is it your fault? And yeah, I think you're right. I think most people would say it's a shared. Kind of
although at least with tobacco, nicotine is highly addictive. Although one might say so is social media, but not in the same way. However,
I wonder, what do you mean not in the same way?
It's just not I don't believe it's. You're not going to start having the shakes if you're not sitting there watching your Facebook or your TikTok. And by the way, this Jeremy, this is Facebook now. TikTok is next. I guess it'd be Facebook and Instagram, right? Because that's Meta. So all these other platforms are coming next. And the way the wind blows is really what matters in your world. And I'm assuming you would agree the way the wind is blowing, Meta is at a major disadvantage in this trial right now.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
So one of the lawyers for jury selection asked a room of, I don't know how many people, 100, 200, how many ever you can fit in a courtroom of potential jurors, and asked, who here doesn't think that, phones are bad for your kids or that social media is not bad for your kids?
Right.
Everybody. 100% response that we think it's bad. So they're walking into a very stiff breeze with, in this case. And sort of to kind of go back to your point and what we were sort of talking about, tobacco is a toxin. Okay,
right.
There might be something good about some great qualities about tobacco that I'm missing. But there are a lot of really good qualities for social media. It's speech, it's exercise, it's discourse. We made an amendment out of it. Right. It was the First Amendment, right? So I think we would all agree that there is a lot more positive that comes from social media than the negative. But so is it a toxin, or is it a bad
habit.
Is it a bad axle on a 18-wheeler? Which is it?
Yeah, I feel like habit, not addiction.
You know, I wonder though. So hold on, let me just give this as an example. You said you won't get the shakes from not smoking, and I don't know that that's more of usually associated more with like an alcohol withdrawal type symptom. But the smoking is nicotine, which triggers or releases something in your brain, essentially dopamine, that tells your body to feel relaxed or pleasure or whatever the case might be. And I think it's the same thing with social media.
I don't buy it, but I don't think that's our argument here today, right? I mean,
that's the addictiveness, isn't it?
I understand, but I feel like that is going to be a given in this. I mean, that's what they're trying to prove, right? But I do feel like when we're talking about which way the wind is blowing, I feel like people are so much looking for a solution. And Jeremy, these stories are heart-wrenching. What?
Get off your phone!
Yeah, that would do it. These stories are heart-wrenching, and it's hard to it's going to be hard for the jury to be like ignoring the sympathy that they have for these families.
Mm-hmm.
I feel anyway,
Yeah,
but you're the attorney. I don't know.
Well, no, and to be clinical about it, these are 29 attorneys general who are bringing this case.
Mm-hmm.
This case is what you would call a bellwether case, which means that everybody agreed that this is the one that should go first, because we don't want to try all 29 cases. So it's a combination, I think, of California, Colorado, and Kentucky, unless I'm mistaken, are the three states that are in there. And so you're looking at statutory fines and penalties, which could be quite stiff. I mean, we're talking if they lose every single claim on every one, Meta says you're going to make us pay $1.9 trillion or something like that, which is actually kind of almost real money.
Yeah.
I mean,
and by the way, I feel like it's right about what they're worth. Maybe a little more than what they're worth.
Right. And I don't think, and now the attorneys general have said, oh no, we only want $200 billion, which, ought to make you feel a little better.
Only,
yeah. But yeah, I don't see us putting these companies out of business over this. But look, I mean, this is how your market works. They have to be responsive to legislation and litigation, and that's why our products in the United States are the safest in the world. This is why we can sell our baby safety products in every country, is because everybody wants a safe baby, and our stuff works. And it works because plaintiffs' lawyers, like the ones on the signs in Houston, sued the potatoes out of these companies forever and ever until we got it right. So
I wonder. So I reference this. It's one of these memories I had as a kid. We're sitting there watching TV, and we're talking 1978. So the TV wasn't that clear, it wasn't that colorful. We did have a color TV, but it wasn't that good. And a McDonald's commercial comes on, and you're seeing the Big Mac sauce drip onto the Big Mac. And my father's like trying to lose weight, and he's like, "This should be illegal. They should not allow this to be on TV. All it does is make me want to go to the refrigerator." And I wonder, if this is addiction, and they're liable or culpable for this, then what else could we go to? What else could be considered habitual or addictive?
Right, calling your lawyer. I mean, where will it stop?
Where will it stop? Yeah.
Right. And yes, again, I mean, I think, and that's some of the nuance here, is that to get around to a lot of the speech laws, the argument here is that this is a product defect.
Yeah.
That the algorithm is not a bulletin board where people just can kind of randomly peruse. It's a product that intentionally gives the mentally unstable person exactly what he doesn't need.
Okay, fair enough.
So where's the line? And so certainly, I think we would all agree, kind of going way back to the beginning of our talk, that this is a shared responsibility between parents and these companies.
Yeah.
We give the example sometimes with smoking. If I'm not mistaken, some of the penalties they paid to governments had to go, or maybe was used in a fund for helping people quit smoking or setting up these like smokers quit lines. I'm just wondering, like, if
remember the tobacco companies lied to the world and said their product did not cause cancer, and that they had clinical research to prove it. I think that played a role.
You could argue that social media companies claim that their products weren't addictive, right? And they intentionally designed them to be addictive. But my question is, for instance, if an individual sues, there's this thing that's always talked about pain and suffering, right? I get X number of dollars for what I was put through, whether, I didn't necessarily have a bill for it. It was my pain and suffering I'm being compensated for. When a government or, an attorney general sues, and if there is a finding of fault, where does that money go? Does it just go into the budget and so they just blow it on some other project?
Right, pretty close. So what happens is, so for instance, the state of Kentucky is one of the plaintiffs here. If the jury holds Meta liable, then you go into, then for the punishment of that, there would be these statutory fines. Then that would be ordered, and this, fast forward through a whole bunch of appeals, and and ultimately what would happen is those would go into the coffers of the state of Kentucky, and they would probably have to almost certainly put it towards mental health and costs that you see a lot of this also in the opiate litigation. So kind of the same. You would see something similar there.
Beth?
I mean, I'm just listening to this, and I'm listening to a lot closer now than I know it's been in the news for a couple of weeks anyway. But it brings together some what I think are subjective sides of this, and I think people in like Jeremy's position have to kind of somehow translate that into actual factual numbers on paper or black and white. This is so not a black and white issue. You talk about addiction. There are people who have addictive personalities. I mean, there are even diagnosable conditions. Somebody who has obsessive compulsive disorder, that's an addictive personality. Someone who isn't addictive, I mean, it's nothing for me to set my phone down and ignore it all day, and I don't need to be on Facebook all the time, and I consider myself blessed to not have that kind of an issue in my life. But there are people who do, and I agree with Jeff. I mean, I think, and what Jeremy said earlier, this is a collective solution. This isn't point the finger at one part of the problem and fix it. I mean, this is, yes, I'm not saying that there aren't things there that need to be fixed, but everybody involved in a situation needs to step up and be accountable.
Well, I wish that was true here, but I think that really this is just blaming Meta.
Exactly.
Your final take on this, Jeremy?
Maybe there ought to be a class action lawsuit against parents.
Yeah, I agree.
Good luck with that.
Yes. I mean, I feel terrible for these parents, what they've gone through, but I mean, at some point, look in the freaking mirror.
Well, and there may have been parents that tried to do that.
Maybe. It is what it is, right?
It is. And look, I mean, ultimately, we've got to find a balance. And let's not pretend, and the major battlefield here is, do these products cause the mental health issues? Right. And then we're talking about 8 million. And so that part is very much like the tobacco litigation, which is, everybody has their own expert who can, like, if you've ever seen that movie, Thank You for Smoking, one of the funny scenes for the lawyers anyway is they said, here's our expert. He could disprove gravity, So anyway, I mean, that's how court is. So, good luck, kind of connecting all the dots. But this is just infinitesimally complicated. Yeah. But, again, in 100 years, this is something that I think irons out. But also, it's not just about the mental health, too. I mean, it's about people in their silos, getting misinformation. My dad, who's in his 80s and thinks that Patrick Mahomes is endorsing whatever local politician for city council. And I'm like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes cares.
I don't think he does either. Or he's actually helping Putin with the war. I mean, I saw the video. It's out there.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Right. So anyway.
All right. One more comment. Mike says they're trying to put a limit on Meta for kids, like putting a child-proof cap on Tylenol. Yeah, I guess it's all kind of comparable. And let's not forget, in all of these stories, in many of these stories, there was some really terrible person out there, in some cases, bullying the person.
Took advantage.
There was like a human aspect of all of this as well. So, okay, interesting. We'll see where it all goes. As always, Jeremy, we do appreciate your insight.
Have a good morning.
You do the same. Thanks so much, Jeremy Rosenthal.
Just another thought on this is that while I do find some fault with the social media companies, like I do think they are specifically designed to be addictive, and I do think, like tobacco companies, they target kids. I will say this. I agree with, and I understand your point, Bill, like what are they supposed to do? Make their product repulsive?
Yeah, right.
Should I have an app, and would I use an app if they intentionally went out of their way to make me use it less?
Right.
Right? So that's everybody. We're trying to get, you brought this up before, we're trying to get more listeners on the quarter hour. Every show on Netflix wants a bigger audience. Every movie, they want to break a record. They want more and more and more, and I get that.
Well, Lance Inley says you clearly have broken no rules at this program.
What do you mean?
We haven't over-coerced anybody to stick around. So.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Lance.
Thanks, Lance.
And then we're always talking about AI and commercials. We're about to be hit really hard with commercials. There are a few spots right now on Gendabine that he says that's not even true, that Constantino used AI to create something that I never said. Interesting. How do you tell if a commercial is AI or it's real footage? In some cases, it's not easy.
I agree.
In other cases,
it is.
It actually jumps right out at you, and I want to give you one example. There is a commercial that I saw. Now, unfortunately, I cannot find it, and I cannot tell you which one it was. But it was talking about a candidate who is now banned from participating in something based on their actions. And the B-roll is going along in the commercial. And I'm wondering, why is there a guy in the commercial that's a drummer? Why is there a drummer in this commercial? There's a shot of a guy playing drums, and it looks like at a concert in this commercial. And it dawned on me, because the candidate was banned, the drummer is in a band, and in the American English language, you have one word that means multiple different things.
Well,
and might be spelled differently, right?
Yeah, that's two different words.
So that's why, though, the algorithm, the AI picked up, there's a band. Let me get somebody who's drumming at a concert, and that shows up in a YouTube commercial. So it shows you if you're sloppy, you'll easily get caught. But try to keep a keen eye on what's real and isn't real. Quick break. We'll do news, then Manaski's free money, or Manaski's news, and then Hobaika's free money question of the day is coming up. Hold tight at WIBX at 7:36.
The Labor Day sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $2,000 on upstate New York's largest selection of mattresses. Will beat any locally advertised price on brands we carry. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Bill, it is 7:38. We have some sunshine trying to poke through the clouds and 60 degrees. Byron Donalds has become the first black person to win Florida's Republican primary for governor. The congressman endorsed by President Trump is the favorite to succeed current Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida's Democratic primaries. Incumbent Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz won her congressional district and is expected to win a 12th term in office. Meanwhile, candidates endorsed by President Trump are taking a few hits in Tuesday's primaries. Republicans endorsed by Trump tend to win their primaries, but 3 were defeated yesterday. Trump's pick for governor in Wyoming. 2 Trump-backed candidates in Florida also defeated. The governor of Wyoming candidate Megan Degenfelder lost her primary to State Senator Eric Barlow there. Trump is pausing a planned wave of tariffs that was set to hit Canada at midnight last night. Trump saying he's pausing the duties for 3 days because the two countries have a deal pending final documentation. He offered no specifics on any details of that agreement. A new report says Trump is pushing a face-to-face meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Officials tell the Wall Street Journal that the president has privately discussed setting up a meeting with Kim during Trump's next visit to Asia. Officials say the meeting could happen in November during the APEC summit in China. A group of Iranian hackers being indicted for allegedly orchestrating a cyber piracy campaign backed by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. The Justice Department says the group of 17 hackers targeted United States universities and companies in a year-long campaign attempting to extort HBO for $6 million in Bitcoin along the way. And Spider-Man Brand New Day is set to become the fastest film to surpass $800 million at the domestic box office. The movie hit the mark in just 19 days, beating the record of 23 days set by, any guess?
I don't know.
Star Wars, The Force Awakens.
Right.
I would have taken any Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Brand New Day is likely to take first place again at the box office this weekend. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Pleasant morning, and that's going to lead to a fairly decent day today. I say that because later, toward 4 or 5 o'clock, there may be a couple of showers, thunder showers around, but percentage-wise, most of the day, sun and clouds. 80 should do it. Chance of a shower thunderstorm early tonight. Upper 50s, which puts the Adirondacks in the low to mid 50s. Sun back tomorrow. Very pleasant. Upper 70s as the front clears. Even cooler by Friday morning. Then sun in the afternoon. 80. Chance of showers over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Some sunshine and 60 at 7:41.
All right, it's time for Hobico's free money question of the day. Davey, this morning it is worth
$275.
$275. And you're looking for caller number what?
Caller 7.
7th caller, $275. Great question. You're shaking your head.
QAnon, John. Again, John, I'm going to say it as plainly as I can. Here's some comments from him this morning. I'm not going to say that. Let's see. Days of justice is coming. Or are coming, should be. It should be are coming. Days of justice is coming. Change your evil ways. Learn the law, not the policies. Nicotine patches are helping people that got, quote, vaccinated. He also said, I spent years on Facebook spreading truth only to have numerous accounts deleted. People want truth. All them years only to fight for 50 followers.
Yeah, they do want truth, but you ain't spewing truth.
Yeah, what is it, John? Give me the truth. Past few days, roughly 800.
You're like throwing out hints. Like this is some sort of a riddle. Like you're the Riddler. You're the Riddler. He's just throwing stuff out, and we got to figure it out before the world ends.
Yeah, no.
Learn the laws of the land. What are the laws of the land?
Yeah, there's more of that stuff on there as well.
All right, we're looking for caller number 7 right now with 315-736-0186. We'll do it next. $275. And then she's not happy.
Yeah, Utica councilperson Samantha Colosimo Test, a couple of things we're going to talk to her about, but one of them is upgrading the laws as it relates to synthetic marijuana and synthetic drugs in the city. And then also, I think she's got frustration again on when or how often the council can meet and whether or not all of the council as a body is coming together.
I will get into all of it coming up. First, though, free money question. It's next to WIBX.
There's still plenty of summer left, so why not get the most out of every sunny day? Load up the family, head to the lake, explore somewhere new, or just enjoy the drive. Because the best summer memories are made 1 mile at a time. At Steep Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer, it's the perfect time to upgrade your ride. Right now, lease a 2026 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $349 a month, or lease a 2026 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive for only $389 a month. So don't let summer pass you by. Make the most of every adventure in a brand new Chevy from Steep Ponte. These offers end August 31st, so stop in today. Steep Ponte Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Qualified customers only must qualify for top-tier financing with GM Financial. Have a Chevrolet lease in the household and be approved for a GM card. $3,000 cash down plus first payment, tax, and fees. 3-year lease, 10,000 miles per year. See salesperson for complete details. Must take delivery by August 31st.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's Industry Ace. Our Industry Aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it's time now for Hobeika's free money question of the day. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, the Hobeika Law Firm, 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. The Hobeika Law Firm. Every time I think of Joe, all of a sudden I start thinking about, I wonder how Howard Potter's doing on the school board. He's kind of quiet.
Well,
except in his own little universe. He is the whistleblower of all whistleblowers. He blows whistles for things that don't deserve a whistle.
Well, I don't know the latest.
Well,
so
it's just,
I was just scrolling.
Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's,
scrolling on Facebook, and
an evil agenda.
He said, people love to, essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, people love to tell you, people expect that you'll pay your workers a living wage or a decent wage, and they're also the same ones who are quick to tell you where they can get the work done cheaper. Which maybe that's a fair point.
Yeah, sure.
And QAnon John, by the way, also says, I've told you for years, keep watching Keeler. Told Bill what?
Keep watching.
Just say it.
Keep watching. Well, we've been watching, and we're still confused. Let me go to Jerry in East Herkimer. Jerry, how are you doing?
Very good. Very good.
All right. Well, you're going to be down. How many planets are there?
Oh,
is it?
Because I think we lost one.
Kind of depends on who you ask. Yeah.
Is it 7?
7. I think we lost Pluto.
Pluto
Became a star.
Yeah.
One of them became.
I
a
thought
star.
there was 9 or 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to.
All right. Well,
if you talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson,
you have a 1 in 8 or 9 chance to win. Okay. Just so you know. All right. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
All right, you have 7 seconds. It's worth $275. And today, I'm told, I have a consolation prize. If you don't get it right, you'll get a pair of tickets to go to the great is it the Herkimer County Fair or the State Fair? To the New York State Fair. I have a pair of tickets for you. All right? He doesn't want to go. I don't blame you. You worked that out with Davey. All right, Jerry, he wants the money. Let's get the money. Here is your question. This planet in our solar system has the shortest day. Which one is it? Ready, go.
Shortest day. Mercury.
Mercury. Oh, Mercury. Is Mercury the one that we lost?
No.
It's Pluto.
It's Pluto, yeah.
They were out. It was out there. And then one day we looked, it was gone. The answer, believe it or not, is the largest planet has the shortest day.
Oh, really?
That makes sense.
Well, actually, it doesn't, because it's so large, it would tip. But what happens is, despite the fact that Jupiter is the largest planet, its rotation is so fast, you might even feel it. You couldn't live on there. Jupiter completes a full rotation in 10 hours. So we're at 24 in 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
That's a complete day. It spins incredibly fast.
It's 2.5 times faster than the Earth.
Which creates storms across its surface. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Listen, I don't know about you, Jerry, but I hated that crap when I was in school. Now I got to be asking these questions on a radio show. Are you kidding? All right, we are going to give you the tickets to the State Fair. The Great New York State Fair starts on Wednesday.
That answers the ultimate question.
It
when
does.
am I ever going to need this in my real life?
That's right. And who would have thought on August 19th?
You just made every social studies and geometry teacher happy.
2026, it could have come.
It came around and bit you in the backside.
All right, stand by, Jerry. You guys have a wonderful day out there in East Herkimer.
And you too.
All right,
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks so much.
I thought what you were going to say
is all yours.
that when the whole thing with the size of the planet made me think maybe it had the shortest day, but also the longest day, because like with Alaska,
I would expect it to have being such a large planet, you'd have the longest day.
The other,
but it just spins so fast, and it makes it and it's turbulent because. It spins so fast, it creates all of these storms.
But Jeff also brings up another question. There are parts of this planet that have shorter and longer days, but it's on the same planet.
Well, that depends on where you are.
So would that train of thought apply to Jupiter also?
Well, remember, this is the shortest time. The shortest day means its shortest full rotation.
Right.
Which doesn't necessarily have to do with daylight, sunlight, per se. In this case, it's just how long does it take to rotate. For us, it's 24 hours. And when we were in like London, the sun would rise at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it would set at 10:30 at night. And again, that depends. That's all about where you are, how far you are towards the
equator,
pole versus the equator. Yeah.
Pluto is called, I'm just reading from Google, called a dwarf planet because it shares space with other icy rocks. I only bring that up because I was curious if that was politically correct to call it a dwarf planet. Isn't it a little planet?
Which is why the sport is now called planet tossing. I don't know if you know that. They changed it. It's in bars, and
it's a midget planet.
Are you bored over there, Jeff?
No, I just, it's considered a dwarf planet, but they call it a dwarf planet, so it's still a planet, right? I don't know why we took it away.
Well, now
we took it off the list.
So small, it's considered a star, so they say. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Are we hearing this, or is it just coming out of my speakers?
No, it's not your speakers.
Here she is, Samantha. Please stop. Samantha Colosimo Testa on the line right now, council person with the city of Utica and a teacher extraordinaire who is watching her summer dissipate. Good morning.
Yes, It's coming to an end.
Oh, and it's coming.
The state fair was next week.
It's coming
because that means
fast.
it's almost time to go back.
Do you know that Syracuse schools will not go back to school until the day after Labor Day? And
I'm not.
Part of the reason for that is the state fair.
Really?
It's so big in Syracuse. The fair is so big.
The reason that we have to go earlier is because the 180 days has to be met.
Well, that
for
is
the
true.
Requirement, but that doesn't make sense. How they're
going to end up with a shorter, some shorter vacation somewhere in the middle, because they have to reach the same amount of days. Herkimer County also doesn't start until the day after Labor Day.
Really?
I thought that was interesting. Okay.
Yes, it's definitely interesting how everybody's again has to abide by the same laws that the state requires, and you're able to choose what time to go back and so on and so forth. Definitely interesting.
All right. What's up this morning?
So I was talking to Jeff. I sent him a couple of pieces. I know we talked earlier last week in regards to the email that I sent for calling a committee meeting next Tuesday. Some of the discussions that we're going to talk about is a possibility of updating our legislation in regards to synthetic marijuana. And part of the issue that we run into with what the state law is and what we have on the books now is that there was a case, and I've been working, hand in hand with Chief Williams in regards to this, and he's been a great help in trying to figure out this information. He's got his narcotics unit, doing a little research to see if this is something that, we can update without conflicting with court cases. I believe there was a court case, People versus Hill, in regard to the court decision stating that synthetic marijuana, the person couldn't be charged because it wasn't tested properly, and it kind of got away, around of the fact that now synthetic marijuana can no longer, you can't charge a person for it and actually have the consequences that, was on the state books, back from 2012. So we're trying to update that to see if this is something that the city could utilize as a tool, work towards nuisance abatements, and really try and, hamper down on this new synthetic marijuana called Deuce and, other things, other synthetic marijuanas that are closely associated with. So I thought it was kind of important to put that in, and we have a committee meeting next Tuesday in regard to that. So I'm hoping that we can get some.
This sounds like to me something that everybody would agree on.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I mean, and that goes back to the point, I was laughing because there was a photo of, 4 council people at a Oneida Square meeting, and it's not a sanctioned meeting or anything like that. And it's like, we haven't met as a legislative body other than the fact that we had to have a special meeting, in regard to the police residency requirement, since almost the, beginning of June. And it's amazing that, I can't call a committee meeting without a committee of the whole, 5 people to 9 people present at a meeting, but they can meet as a subcommittee, and talk about issues inside, Oneida Square and so on and so forth. So it's just frustrating, and I go back and I see things like this going on in the city, and it's like you really can't have an agreement on something when you're not even meeting as a legislative body, and other people aren't putting in ideas other than myself or 1 or 2 other council people. So again, we're meeting Tuesday, and there's also discussion in regard to BJ's Wholesale. There's
I think this is a good idea to be proactive on that, because you're right. They've not said. They're not wording it that they're moving BJ's to New Hartford. However, they have not committed to keeping BJ's in Utica.
Right. And when I was the council person for the 6th Ward, obviously BJ's was in that district. Back in 2015, they had refinanced. And, a couple of other things to kind of keep the Riverside Mall afloat. Well, that turned up, that expired 2025. So it was a 10-year refinance plan, so on and so forth. So, we kind of have to be proactive. And again, you want to know what, and I feel like, one of the biggest problems that I have with this administration, and it's tactic, I don't think, so to speak, it's, one individual person, but you got to remember a lot of people that are still in government now, have been under from the previous administration. So I think like a lot of things have to be reminded sometimes, like this is not an issue from 2015. This is a new issue that's happening 2025. Yeah. Can we address this issue and, kind of, figure out a new approach and get the people that are, the most important to the table at City Hall. And I'm not saying that the mayor's not doing that. I just haven't communicated with him, in regards to any of those issues.
I would say losing BJ's would be a big blow to Riverside.
And revenue.
Well, 100%. And I actually talked to a few people that live just outside of Utica, like Marcy, Deerfield, and they're upset because that's one of the places that they shop at. And they said, would we go shopping at BJ's if it was in New Hartford? No. So I think that, we just can't look at ourselves, in regards to this. Obviously, there would be a huge blow, to the tax base in the city of Utica, but it all serves a lot of people in the North Country,
And what you would, what you really would like would to be for BJ's to say, no, don't worry, we're committed to staying in Utica as well.
100%, and I think that's the most important part. And somebody said that they were just looking at, opening up, a gas station component of it, of BJ's, and so on and so forth. So I think that's something that we need questions, answers to.
I heard they're going into the Macy's, location.
Yeah, and listen, and I know that Singertown Mall is hurting too, and that's a gorgeous facility. But part of New Hartford's problem is that they really moved a lot of the businesses in Singertown Mall to Consumer Square. So they shifted, and then you have that beautiful mall and a lot of department stores now empty, and that's something that they got to fill. And obviously, New Hartford's a big competitor when it comes
but remember
businesses.
The Consumer Square is owned by a different company than Sangertown, but Sangertown is the Pyramid owns Sangertown and Riverside, I believe.
I know that they have different property managers than they did before under Pyramid.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I haven't been able to reach out and talk to those guys yet.
I hate to do this, but I am out of time. Anything else you got to hit quickly in 10 seconds?
No, that's it. I can, I can come on, in the next couple of weeks
do it again soon.
To give an update
Before school, and it's coming quickly.
Absolutely.
Samantha,
right,
as always,
have a great day.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Samantha Colosimo Testa. Ryan Nobles from NBC is coming up next hour. Stand by.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Democrats in Florida are the latest to take a left turn. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, picking up aggressive to take on Republican Senator Ashley Moody.
Another Democratic socialist made headway.
What do we do?
Angie Nixon in a come-from-behind win for the Democratic Senate nomination in Florida.
As Fox's Doug Luzitter, Nixon was outspent 16-1 and trailed in the polls, but defeated Alex Vindman by 12 points. And he had the backing of prominent Democrats. Two other Democratic socialists lost, however, in Florida, challenging two members of Congress. But Jared Moskowitz won, so did Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
And we're going to make sure we fight those damn Republicans.
She defeated several others in a redrawn district, but Republican Congressman Corey Mills was primaried out. Ryan Elijah defeated Mills, who's under a House ethics investigation. He becomes the 11th member of Congress to lose a primary this year. Another House Republican won his primary, trying to become Florida's next governor, Byron Donalds.
Let's go beat David Jolly in November.
Jolly used to be a Republican in Congress. Now he's a Trump critic who won the Democratic primary for governor.
The renewal of a hope, the belief in each other once again, the belief in something better. That we are better in this moment than where our leaders are dragging us.
In Alaska, a primary for one of the 6 Senate seats considered toss-ups in November in the Fox News Power Rankings. Republican Senator Dan Sullivan finished second, behind Democrat Mary Peltola. Both advanced in November, along with two others, in a ranked choice voting contest. As the U.S. and Iran remain in a standoff over Strait of Hormuz shipping, Iran reportedly ready to expand the conflict if President Trump resumes bombing.
The FT reports Iranian forces have assessed possible strikes on U.S.-linked locations in southeastern Europe. That could include Besmer Air Base in Bulgaria, recently approved by the government there for use by American refueling aircraft.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Weeks after ex-presidential COVID advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci refused to answer questions at a Senate hearing, which prompted Republicans to refer a contempt of Congress resolution to the Justice Department, one of Fauci's former advisors goes to court.
A former advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci pleads guilty to plotting to conceal federal records related to research on the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. David Morans, who'd worked as a senior official at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases during the pandemic, admitted using his personal email account for government business regarding research grants to keep them from disclosure under public record laws. Prosecutors say he and his co-conspirators were plotting to restore a grant funding bat coronavirus research and looking to counter the theory that COVID may have originated from a Wuhan, China lab. Fauci is not charged with or accused of wrongdoing in the case or mentioned by name in court filings. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
There is another social media trial. 29 states taking on Meta, led by the attorneys general from California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey. Among the allegations, the parent company of Instagram and Facebook made addictive platforms harming teenage users.
In addition to billions in financial damages, the states are asking the judge to impose more restrictions on how the platforms operate for minors. First up on the stand was Arturo Bejar, the former Facebook engineer turned whistleblower who says he tried to warn Meta executives about the dangers to kids, but no one listened. He is considered a star witness in this federal trial, which is scheduled to last about 6 weeks. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is also expected to testify. In Oakland, California, Claudia Cowan, Fox News.
Canada's avoided big new tariffs that were set to take effect this morning. President Trump delayed them, saying they are finalizing a deal. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, up for the Dow, down for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Some sunshine, 62 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A 21-year-old motorcyclist was killed after crashing into a tractor trailer on State Route 8. The accident happened on Tuesday morning at around 9:30 in the town of Ohio. Troopers say the motorcycle operator from Walcott was riding northbound when he failed to make a right-hand curve, crossing into the southbound lane and striking a tractor trailer. The driver of that tractor trailer was examined by a drug recognition expert and determined to not be impaired. State police are continuing their investigation. The name of that motorcyclist has not yet been released. We were just talking to councilperson Samantha Colosimo-Testa about North Utica and BJ's. This after Lowe's in North Utica had a bit of a gas leak yesterday. Utica's fire chief saying that a forklift was bringing a pallet of heavy bags of cement when the pallet fell apart and broke onto the regulator of the gas line. WKTV says that fire crews had to remove the bags of cement from the gas line while it was still hissing. National Grid was able to shut off the valve to stop the leak. Customers and employees from both Lowe's and neighboring stores were evacuated and had to be moved 200 yards away. No serious injuries were reported. An unlatched kennel door is being blamed for what led to the death of an Albany County Sheriff's canine. Investigators say all signals indicate that the door of Casey's kennel was not properly latched. That canine, Casey, was an 8-year-old bloodhound who was reported missing on Saturday. She was then found dead on Sunday morning in the median after being struck by a vehicle on the New York State Thruway. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time coming up on 8:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Pleasant morning, and that's going to lead to a fairly decent day today. I say that because later, toward 4 or 5 o'clock, there may be a couple of showers, thunder showers around, but percentage-wise, most of the day, sun and clouds. 80 should do it. Chance of a shower thunderstorm early tonight. Upper 50s, which puts the Adirondacks in the low to mid 50s. Sun back tomorrow. Very pleasant. Upper 70s as the front clears. Even cooler by Friday morning. Then sun in the afternoon. 80. Chance of showers over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, some sunshine and 62 degrees at 8:08. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, the Mets lose to the Padres. The final last night, 5-2 at Citi Field. Zach Thornton took the loss. The Mets had won 4 straight games. That 3-game series wraps up later today. The Yankees take the opener against Baltimore 3-1. Trent Grisham, all 3 RBIs with a solo home run as well. The Yankees have won back-to-back games. They continue their 3-game series coming up tonight. A couple sad stories in the NFL. We begin first, though, with the Giants adding some depth at running back. They've signed Najee Harris to a 1-year contract. Harris making his way back from a torn Achilles suffered last year while he was with the LA Chargers. Jets running back Breece Hall sidelined for the rest of the preseason. He's got a groin injury. Head coach Aaron Glenn saying Hall is expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. The sad NFL stories I mentioned. First, Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy says his wife is on the road to recovery. The 57-year-old spoke publicly yesterday for the first time since returning from Virginia. He thanked reporters for respecting his family's privacy. Mia Bieniemy, his wife, has progressed as she recovers after she was shot allegedly by the couple's son. She continues her recovery, and he has now returned to the team. Ravens defensive end Calais Campbell addressing a tough situation as well for the first time yesterday. Campbell asked for continued support and prayers for his family after their recent tragedy. Campbell's brother Ciari remains in custody after he allegedly killed their mother. He said that his family has struggled, or his brother rather, has struggled with mental illness, and the family is still grieving, obviously, the loss of his mother.
The debate continues on, right? If somebody is to the point where they kill someone, or kill a family member, or kill a parent, and it's basically for no reason except for their mental illness, are they a murderer? Well, I don't know that we can be in a scenario where we can not prosecute someone like that.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know what other solution we have other than put them in a special prison for the rest of their life that is more of a mental institution / prison.
Okay.
Because anyone who commits a crime like that is nuts. I would assume something has gone wrong with the brain.
I agree, but yeah, something's got to be done because obviously they put
you can't let them
people
go
in danger, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Can I tell a little? I was really working hard over the weekend, trying to. I love these. You buy a stain for a deck, for instance, and I use a solid color stain that lasts for 10 years. 10-year stain.
Allegedly.
That's exactly right.
That's what the label says.
Because now it's been like 5, and I got to repaint it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to match it, and if I remember, it was like a chocolate brown. So a dark brown color. And
what do you mix it yourself? What do you mean you're trying to match
it? I sent somebody to the paint store, and he came back with a mahogany because that's what he was told was the darkest. The problem with mahogany is
it's got a red tint.
It's red.
Yeah.
It's kind of reddish. So I'm looking at the paint and I'm starting, all right, let me see what it looks like. Not at all what I want. Not what I want. So I had this bright idea that, well, what if
was it a bright red idea?
And let me tell you, I didn't buy just a gallon of paint. It's a big deck. It's the 17 point something or other liter. So it's like the big 5-gallon thing, which is
expensive.
$229, somewhere in that range. But it's a good paint, and they got it at Lowe's. It's one coat, and it's rain ready in 4 hours. Problem is, I was painting on Friday, was it, or Friday, and it was raining like on a whim. It's like the sun was shining. 2 minutes later, there's rain coming down. It was a disaster. nonetheless, I had this bright idea that what if I take some black paint and and put it in and mix it in.
So he's trying to fix it.
I was trying to fix it.
Yeah.
So I sent him to get the black paint. And so this is the greatest part of all. So he gets the base, and it's a white base. And I said, well, how are you going to turn that into black? Can you turn a gallon of white stain, solid, into black? And the answer to that is
no.
No. But apparently he and the paint guy were working on it. Like pouring more and more black into it, and it just got a little more gray and a little more gray and a little more gray after that, and finally brought it back to me, and I'm like, it was like it was gray. And I'm like, what am I doing with that? Is not going to make the mahogany. You got to start with a neutral, and then you can make it black. So that gallon went back, and then he came back with the black. I poured the black into the mahogany, and it was just a darker reddish color. So back went the paint. I was able to figure out how to get it back and got the dark paint that I wanted. But my favorite was the whole it's funny how school plays a role in your life. And how many times in school we would say, what am I ever going to use this for?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Somewhere in school you learned colors. And somewhere in school you learned that you can't take this little cup of white and turn it into black.
No.
You'll never really get to pure black. No matter how much you put in, you'll never completely get there.
You know what the definition of black and white are.
It is primary, right?
White is the presence of all colors. Black is the absence of all colors.
Well, but white is a color that you cannot, you just can't turn it into black. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and finally I got the black in, and it just didn't do
And what did you learn from this, Bill?
I learned that, number one, take a picture of the cover of the paint.
Oh, yeah.
So that when you want it, the color you're looking for, you take the number over there, and they'll match it right up for you.
Yeah.
It was a long day.
Yeah. So, did they take back the mess you made?
Like the mahogany that you've now opened and used?
It's so judgmental what you just said. I mean, that was just extremely judgmental to me.
You bought a 5-gallon bucket, and whether it was with their advice or their consent, you were adding colors to it. And so are you using that 5-gallon bucket?
No.
Right. So what'd you do with it?
I returned it.
And they took it?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Because they
I'm
should already know what you found out over the weekend.
Listen, let me tell you. It's a beautiful dark mahogany.
Okay.
It's really nice. And in fact, if
it's
you're
somebody's perfect shade of mahogany.
If you're looking
if
you're looking for a darker shade of mahogany at a discount price, go to Lowe's right now.
Aisle 17.
Okay.
Yep.
But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But you can never get the. And I'm thinking about it, and I actually was perplexed. Like, am I wrong here? How it would be impossible to turn that gallon of white paint into a black gallon of paint.
You're absolutely correct. Sometimes I see these things,
and I'm shaking my head like maybe there's a special dye that's used today that has,
Possible.
I've seen the Facebook video where your pool is green and the guy puts a tablespoon of OxyClean of some sort, throws it in, and it bubbles up and turns perfectly clear.
Right.
Like, is there something I don't know? And turns out...
Apparently not in this situation.
Not in this situation. All right, quick break. We have more to get to. We'll get into comments. Ryan Nobles, a lot to talk about from NBC, coming up at WIBX.
You know, around here, a good vehicle isn't just transportation, it's family time, weekend adventures, and getting where life takes you. Wherever the road leads, you want to know your vehicle is ready for the trip. Get up to $200 back through August 31st when purchasing 4 select Continental tires on a Continental Tire credit card. It's a great time to upgrade your ride before your next adventure. Because when you're headed somewhere important, peace of mind rides along too. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, driving our community since 1980. Trusted for quality, known for service, and helping get you there safely, mile after mile. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, Yorkville, Utica, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com. We'll keep the wheels turning so you can keep making memories.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Yay, yay!
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
The Labor Day sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $2,000 on upstate New York's largest selection of mattresses. Will beat any locally advertised price on brands we carry. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. The Labor Day sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Save up to $2,000 on upstate New York's largest selection of mattresses. Will beat any locally advertised price on brands we carry. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
At River Hills Properties, they call it white glove treatment. Service that's not normally provided to customers looking to buy or sell a home here in upstate New York. This is Bill Keeler. My wife and I had River Hills sell our home, and it sold in under a week, but it was more than that. It was all of the things they did to relieve the stress, to serve as a team member for us, and basically get the job done and make it easier for a buyer to come in and understand. That's where the book comes in. It's like a manual for the home. They create all of that. No lockbox. Your listing agent, and for us it was Robin Monjo, your listing agent there every time the house is shown. That's River Hills Properties. And now they have a full-service office in Sarasota, Florida. Think Snowbird. Think River Hills Properties, located in Barneville, Little Falls, in Newport, and Rome, and now in Sarasota, Florida. 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
Hello, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti. This year marks the 250th birthday of the United States, and we've assembled a special commission to help organize events across our community. In the months ahead, we'll highlight why this is such a historic time for our region. From the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the turning point of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Oriskany. You'll learn about the people, events, and local impact that shaped our nation. Our goal is simple, to help you love the history where you live, right here in Oneida County.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Banaski has comments.
Yes, I do.
Some of which can't be said on the air.
All right, here we go. QAnon John again. All right, let's see. Deed says, if BJ's does leave Utica, what is Samantha going to do? She won't stop it. They won't be able to get another tenant quite equal to BJ's.
But I got to tell you, I think they could bring in Costco.
Isn't Costco going somewhere? Where's Costco going?
I had heard in Rome.
Yeah, right?
I will tell you this. I don't know that that's happening. In fact, I can't get anybody to say it is. Let's just say that. Have you heard anything, Davey? No.
About Costco?
Yeah.
No.
But I keep getting ads from Costco that I never would get before. And I really don't even know isn't Costco just BJ's?
That's what I thought.
Pretty much. Just a different corporation.
Although some people really love Costco.
I thought it was the same. What are the two that are this? BJ's is something. Oh, Sam's Club.
Right.
BJ's is also
people love Costco.
Yeah.
In Syracuse. All right. But I think what Samantha is proposing here is a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Make sure government has a good relationship with those anchor businesses. You don't want to see them leave. So if you can prevent it and let them know that they're welcome and they have a government they can work with, that would probably be a good thing.
So, and somebody also on here was basically saying, I'm paraphrasing, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. What does it matter if they move to New Hartford? Well, it would be a loss in revenue for the city of Utica, not only for what BJ sells inside the store, but all that gas they sell. People who are on Route 12 who don't live in the city, those are a lot of gas sales. I believe that sales tax revenue.
They would lose, but I think BJ's would lose by only being in New Hartford. I think there's an advantage to being in both places.
Well, I think being on Route 12 for sure is an advantage to them. Yeah, I will have to wait and see what happens, but. Also, a comment on here about Sangertown Square. Oh, it's, let's see, Deed says it's a dump and needs a ton of work. Look, there is, how do I want to say this? There's so much business done online that storefronts like this, it's ironic that Consumer Square keeps constructing new buildings.
Yeah, they're killing it. The stores over there are packed.
I almost feel like it's
like people have given up on malls where they want to go to just into one store and get out. I don't know why that is.
I really do think the future for facilities like that is a mixed
Housing.
use. Yeah, absolutely.
Like a community.
Yeah.
Wasn't that discussed at one point, though, as turning the Macy's space into living space?
Currently being discussed.
Yeah.
Donna, why have my husband put in Trex decking? You'll never have to stay in it.
That's true.
That Trex decking is really good. And you keep talking about BJ's.
Never though. I really never.
You'll never.
They say
have
you
to
never have
it.
to replace it either. Never.
Never.
How is that possible?
Even after the nuclear war, it'll be Trex and cockroaches.
Never.
No, I don't know about never.
I don't know.
Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or Wegmans would be great for the area. I agree with that, but I don't think we're going to see that.
I don't know do we have the population to support a Wegmans?
Joe, the best way to. I don't know. I do think we do. I just think there's some agreement we've always heard between Price Chopper and Wegmans, the families.
Oh, okay.
The best way to match an oil stain or paint is scrape off a piece of the old one. Then they could put it on the computer and match it almost perfectly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I ended up doing.
But real quick, Beth, I don't. What does that mean? Do we have the population to sustain
do we just have the numbers? You know, to be a big enough metropolitan area that would support.
Well, if we could support, I guess what's the difference between Wegmans and another?
Well, I know people. Wegmans is like a tourist destination kind of grocery store.
Yeah. But if they operate as a grocery store and we can support a grocery store, what is it?
I think we could. I think we could support it. I don't think that's the reason. They're in smaller communities, Wegmans as well. I just think it's because they have not come this far.
Yeah.
Although you'll find them once you get down into New York City and downstate.
Well,
Wegmans
that's like we have Aldi's, but we don't have a Trader Joe's.
I also we like Trader Joe's a lot. My wife goes there often, and we also like Whole Foods. Whole Foods is expensive,
but those are in the Syracuse area, right?
Whole Foods is in Albany.
Oh, okay.
Trader Joe's and Wegmans are in Syracuse. But Whole Foods now is owned by Amazon. So your Amazon Prime, you can buy through that when you're at Whole Foods. which is kind of good.
And speaking of grocery stores, I did notice yesterday, because I was in Cooperstown, they have a Grand Union, which used to be a big deal around here. I think, is there still
the
one
grocery
in
store? Time
Boonville?
forgot. Grand Union used to be big, too, in Albany. I don't know that they are anymore.
I believe there's one in Boonville still. There's one in Cooperstown, and then there's one. What are you saying no to? Is it?
They don't have one in Boonville.
There's a Tops in Boonville. Not Grand Union.
Yeah. Okay.
Mike says the issue for places like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Wegmans. Trader Joe's is unique because it's a lot of organic stuff, and so it's a lot of health. It's like a Peter's Cornucopia.
I could see the population argument with that, because you have a certain amount of fresh
But
product.
he says
It's got to
about-
be moved in a certain amount of time.
It's more affluency than it is population. And Mercury has the shortest year, closest to the sun, and the same side faces the Earth. That's that. And consolation prizes, if you guys are short on consolation prizes, I know somebody could supply you with Utica Blue Sox tickets.
Oh, so do I, by the way.
That season is over. So
That
there
is
you go.
funny.
Any other quickies before we break?
I'm just checking one more. Do you want to get into that with the Blue Sox tickets, what that's in reference to? Okay, so Jay says, please say hello to Beth from Jan in Phoenix. We always saw her at the farmer's market, but now we love seeing her on your show.
Oh, thank you.
Phoenix misses the hugs. Jan and Phoenix are the black Belgian sheepdog.
Yeah.
Which you knew. I could tell by the look on your face.
And I'm a big hug person, and a big dog person.
Steve Colenso is trying to throw out something cheap that we'll jump on. He's thinking I'm going to lose my cool over it. But he's saying the Mets should move to another state.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to jump on that, Steve.
Yeah. Leave the number one media market in the world for a different state.
With a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
He's being, I think he's trying to bait us. I don't know why. And Wegmans is too expensive for this area. Tops didn't last long in the Utica area. I don't know that Tops is overly expensive, is it?
No.
Tops went through some financial problems.
And they're still in Utica, aren't they?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a Tops here.
No, there used to be one in South Utica. I don't think it's there anymore.
There's a Tops near Oneida and maybe somewhere else.
There's a Tops in Canastota.
Isn't there one just before you get to Oneida?
There's one in Sherrill.
Sherrill, yeah.
And there's
That's
one
what I
in
meant.
Boonville.
Okay. All right.
I didn't
Davey
realize.
is our man. He knows where all of the grocery stores are.
Well, because when I go to the Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota, I usually stop at Tops and grab a sandwich on the way home.
All right. Okay. My wife likes Verner's soda. It's a ginger ale, a really good ginger ale, and it's more Western New York. It comes out of Minnesota, and you can get it in Buffalo. You can get it in Rochester, and usually in Syracuse, and usually at Wegmans or Tops. You cannot get it here. But Tops used to have it when they were in Washington Mills, but it's no longer there. Okay, have we gotten all of this out of the way?
All right.
There we go.
I guess so.
Okay, Banaski has news coming up, then Ryan Nobles from NBC.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back. Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris. Experience suspension. All loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Yay, yay!
It's about how you feel when you walk through the doors and when you leave. That's Steep Pawnee Mazda on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's the Ricky Z way, right? It's the Steep Pawnee way. But beyond that, it's every single employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steep Pawnee Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5? Where it's always easy to do business, Steep Pawnee Mazda.
Some sunshine, now 65 degrees. It is 8:35. Well, tariffs that were set to hit Canada overnight have been put on hold. In a social media posting, President Trump said he paused the 50% duties for 3 days because the U.S. and Canada have a deal pending final documentation. He also suggested that the Keystone XL pipeline might be awoken from the grave. A former advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci pleading guilty to concealing government documents related to COVID-19 grants. David Morenz was a senior official under Fauci during the pandemic and was indicted in April over an alleged scheme to block public records requests related to COVID-19 research grants. He faces up to 5 years in prison. Byron Donalds becoming the first black person to win Florida's Republican primary for governor. Donalds is the favorite to succeed current Governor Ron DeSantis and will face former Congressman David Jolly in the midterms. In Florida's Democratic primaries, incumbent Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz easily won in her district. President Trump nominating White House aide Heidi Overton to head the Food and Drug Administration. Overton is currently the deputy director of the White House Domestic Policy Council and would fill the seat vacated earlier this year by former Commissioner Marty Makary. Multiple people have been arrested at an anti-Muslim protest in Michigan. Multiple reports say hundreds of protesters turned up outside a meeting of the Dearborn City Council last night, where security was tight because of a planned appearance by an anti-Islam activist, Jake Lang, who has made the unfounded claim that Dearborn operates under Sharia law. And a documentary about Jimi Hendrix is making its streaming debut. Jimi Hendrix, Live at Woodstock, a second look, debuted last night on YouTube. It features black and white footage recorded on videotape by a 22-year-old Bard College student who snuck his camera on stage and set it up just 15 feet from where Hendrix was performing. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 8:36. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Pleasant morning, and that's going to lead to a fairly decent day today. I say that because later, toward 4 or 5 o'clock, there may be a couple of thunder showers around, but percentage-wise, most of the day, sun and clouds. 80 should do it. chance of a shower thunderstorm early tonight. Upper 50s, which puts the Adirondacks in the low to mid 50s. Sun back tomorrow. Very pleasant. Upper 70s as the front clears. Even cooler by Friday morning. Then sun in the afternoon. 80. Chance of showers over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Some sunshine, 65 degrees at 8:37.
Over the past month, this is coming from the New Hartford Police Department today. The New Hartford PD has responded to multiple incidents involving reports of juveniles who temporarily left the custody of the House of the Good Shepherd on Champlain Ave by running away. In total, according to police, there are 7 juveniles reported as having left the facility during these individual incidents over the last month. 6 of those juveniles have since been safely located and returned to the facility, according to Chief Ron Fontaine. There's 1 juvenile male, Ali Hassan, age 15, that is still missing. Ali is described as last seen wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and black sweatpants when he fled the facility at 4 p.m. yesterday, August the 18th. New Hartford PD investigated and conducted the location efforts in order to facilitate the safe return of the 6 juveniles in the facility, and are actively seeking Hassan's return at this time. They'll release a picture of him later today, and we'll have that. New Hartford PD appreciates the assistance and cooperation of those who contributed information and the public for assisting. 7 of them running away from the House of the Good Shepherd.
Yeah, well, 6 are back, and hopefully they can locate this other individual.
Coming up, we'll talk to Ryan Nobles. We'll do it next to WIBX.
James, are you taking notes?
I am now.
2026 Kia K4 LXS 0 do it inception.
Writing.
Just $338 a month lease for 36 months.
Underlining.
Sales tax included.
Circling.
And 39 miles per gallon highway.
Okay, now I'm drawing little stars around it.
Please don't decorate the commercial.
Too late. This one gets a smiley face. It's no wonder we're the #1 volume Kia dealer from Maine to Maryland.
Go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 26F1999, MSRP $24,635, 36 months, 30,000 mile lease, 20 cents per mile over, $0 due in inception, $0 security deposit, 8.75% sales tax, and $650 acquisition fee, and $175 dealer dock fee included in payment structure. 720 plus FICO score, EPA rating. Offer expires 8/31/2026.
Destination Kia.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks. In America, there's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
On September 5th, Sticks & Stones Firearms in West Winfield hosts its 4th anniversary gun auction with no buyer's premium and no reserve. Discover an incredible lineup of rifles, shotguns, handguns, ammunition, military antiques, knives, swords, scopes, and more. With no games, no gimmicks, and no holding back, you're sure to get a great deal. Be part of one of the biggest gun auctions of the year. Preview day is September 4th. Live auction is September 5th. Sticks & Stones Firearms in West Winfield. Don't miss it.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Yay, yay!
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they are now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, let me go now to line number one, where Ryan Nobles is standing by.
Can I just real quick?
Yeah,
we talked about this briefly during the break. So on YouTube, who else said it now? Deeds. Okay, I know. Stephen Colenso, was DeSantis the first white person to be governor of Florida? Why do they have to tell us that Byron Donalds, is black? And somebody else commented on that earlier. I'm just noting it. It's in the story, and it's of significance because he is the first.
There's never been one.
Yeah.
I mean, what the F?
I'm
going to petition the FCC. I should have the right to use the full F word when morons make comments like that. I should be able to just come right out with it. Right? I mean, give me an effing break.
An FCC exemption is what you're saying, Bill?
Yeah, I think that Nazi at the head of the FCC should allow us to say, F the effing effer. That's what we should be able to say right now. Because that's a stupid comment. Yeah. I know he's trying to be funny and provocative, but it's stupid.
Deed says, but why is that important when we are supposed to look?
There has never.
Color?
Okay. Again, effer. Stupid. Deeds, come on. You're smarter than that. Ryan, rescue me here, please.
Let's talk about something else.
Oh, that's the way we get out of it. That's smart. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I just keep going with it. That's my problem. I mean, come on. How come there's not a heterosexual parade? I mean, are we really going down this road? I mean,
I will say this about Florida to rescue you. The results last night there were just absolutely shocking. But on more than just the surfacey level of the Democratic Socialist candidate winning the Senate primary there by a significant margin, 12 points, as she was outspent 16-1. Alexander Vindman spent somewhere in the range of $17 million, and she spent not even $1 million. But there's a completely contradictory message there because she won easily. David Jolly won the governor's race. He's a former Republican.
Yeah.
And then, several of the moderate incumbent Democrats won their primary. So her race was an outlier. It's just shocking. And I think what it likely means is that maybe Democrats had some idea that they were going to play in Florida. I doubt they play in Florida now, which obviously I think could save them some money and allow them to use their resources in places like Texas and Alaska, where they've actually got a shot at winning.
How about Vindman? I mean, he really put his entire career on the line, everything on the line, and he gets beat.
Well, I have not paid super close attention to this race, but there's some smart people. Mark Caputo is a good reporter for Axios and knows Florida inside and out. Said that Vindman ran an absolutely terrible campaign. It was doing hardly any sort of, hand-to-hand, on the ground campaigning. Was spending most of his time out of the state raising money. He had the bold move of planning a fundraiser for Nantucket for next week, assuming that he was going to coast through the primary.
Wow.
He had a rude awakening this morning. I doubt that fundraiser will still be necessary.
Wow. Yeah, it will not be. Very interesting. And, I feel like these Democratic Socialists are in pockets where there's a high progressive population, bigger cities. Do you agree with that?
I think you are correct by that, but that does not explain the Florida results because that was a statewide race.
Yeah.
And so she ran up the score all over the state. I mean, and it'd be one thing if she squeaked by running up the score in Tampa and Miami, and then got crushed in the rural communities. I mean, you can't win. You have to win the whole state to win by 12 points, especially in a state as big as Florida. So
right.
I think it probably has more to do with the fact that there probably wasn't a ton of turnout. There were far less Democrats that voted yesterday than there were Republicans. And I just don't think Democrats are paying that close of attention.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you. I mean, there's still energy among the Democratic candidates, but it's not as though they're sweeping every single one of these races as much as President Trump would like to portray it as these Democratic socialists taking over.
Remember, it doesn't have to be real to be portrayed that way, and I think they're still going to portray it that this is the future of the Democratic Party. It's communist, and they won't use socialists, they use communists. Can I just go back to button up something? Mike this morning said, just to go back to this point, the first in anything always gets recognized.
Yeah.
Like, he was the first Utican to ever become, and only to ever become vice president of the United States.
Well, why do we care where he's from?
Right. Okay. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, you see this also with the first, female governor.
Yes, well, that's female. Why do we care? Anyway, I did want to talk about NY21.
Well, and there's a way to talk about it that can relate back to Florida, and that was the next point I wanted to make, Bill.
Okay.
And so I'll set this up, and then that'll open up to your very illuminating interview. But we saw some of these moderate candidates in Florida who won yesterday come right out and immediately disavow the Democratic Socialists. There's a candidate named Jared Moskowitz from Florida who is he's an incumbent moderate. He's kind of run afoul of Hassan Piker, that very controversial progressive streamer. And he came right out and said that the Democratic Socialists, that he disavows them. He's not has anything to do with the Democratic Socialists, that he's running his own campaign. And I know that's the same exact experience you had with the candidate in NY21. So you're noticing that there are moderate Democrats that aren't playing footsie with Democratic Socialists. They're coming right out and saying, that's not the kind of candidate I am. These are the principles that I'm running on. Judge me by my record. Don't judge me by somebody that runs and wins a race in Brooklyn or in inner city Los Angeles. It's a whole different thing.
Well, and
that's the exact tactic you need to play if you have any hope of winning in these more rural districts. Yeah.
And I got to say and again, it depends on where you're running. But I think it was Hakeem Jeffries on Meet the Press. By the way, she did a really good job with the new Attorney General over the weekend. But the asking about the Democratic Socialists, Jeffries just tiptoes through it because you don't want to say this to make them out. You got to have them part. You want them a part of the party, but you don't want to offend this one, that. And it's kind of like the Kamala Harris problem, where she never was able to say anything because she was too afraid if she said this, she'd offend that person. And I think it's refreshing to hear a congressional candidate just come out and say, I think they're crazy. I don't get it. My take.
Yeah, well, and this is what I'll say about that race. And I was visiting my in-laws over the weekend, so I was in upstate New York. I was in that district. My in-laws live in Fort Plain, as you know, which is smack dab in the middle of New York 21. And I don't think yet that this is a race that National Democrats have on their radar quite yet. Just given the makeup of the district, it is still overwhelmingly Republican. But I was very surprised watching television in upstate New York to see the Democratic candidate is on the air already. That demonstrates that he's got a level of funding behind him that will actually make the race serious. I actually saw more ads from him than I did from Constantino, which actually really surprised me. I mean, signs don't mean anything, but his signs are all over the place. And people were talking about the race. Just the idea that this is in the consciousness of voters there when, for forever, that district was just whoever the Republican is will be our member of Congress, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
This is something where Republicans are going to have to legitimately pay attention to it. Or if it is a wave, which does seem to be building, there's definitely a universal world in which the Republicans could get swept up in it, especially if they don't play their cards correctly.
After the interview that we did with Jen Devine, which you've now seen or heard, one or the other, I heard from 3 Republicans who said, actually, add one to that, 4. Who said, if I didn't vote for Jen Devine, I won't vote at all because I will not vote for Constantino. And that's, I find, very interesting. And these are all conservative Republicans. And the other thing that I would make a note of is all of a sudden Constantino's trying to pull back, and he did this towards the end of the primary. He's trying to pull back and change his tune and become more gentler, a more kind Anthony Constantino. And again, that's the Kamala Harris effect. That's where you're losing what got you there. I think mistakes are being made there, personally.
Well, here's what I'll say about that. And it's interesting that's been your anecdotal experience talking to some Republicans. And I would say that if the district were, a +5 to +15 Trump district, maybe Genevieve's got a shot at the Republican that just stays home and doesn't vote. But I think in a district like that where it's +20 Trump district, he actually has to win over Republicans. He's got to have Republicans actually cast a vote for him. And that's why it's such a tough uphill climb for him. I could see a universe in which there's a degree of Republican that just is not enthusiastic about this race because of the kind of campaign Constantino's running. But that's not going to be enough. The Democrats got to actually win over and get people to vote for him. And then the other thing I'll say is, you can't underestimate the fact that the energy in the Republican Party still exists with the MAGA Republican. The most motivated voters in the Republican Party are people that are undyingly loyal to Donald Trump. So, the doubling down on the Trumpism is not a bad play for him. It's just whether or not he can translate in a way that doesn't completely alienate the moderate Republican, because the Trump is still extremely popular in that district, and so it's going to be very, very difficult for a Democrat to overcome that.
That's kind of why I feel Constantino going away from that bull in a china closet candidate who would do anything, say anything. You never knew what was going to happen. Pulling away from that, I'm not sure that's good for the MAGA voter in the 21st. It's going to be either way. It's going to be an interesting race.
Well, and then I saw his signs. What is his slogan? Constantino's slogan is like, "I'll be your man," or "I'm only going to be your man," or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Which I found interesting. Yeah. Because in the primary, it was all about he was going to be Trump's man.
Right. Right.
It's kind of an interesting juxtaposition to see his slogan being like, "I'm only going to be your man," and then you watch the Democrats. His ads feature Constantino unveiling that gold statue of Trump at his business or something along those lines. So, his whole identity was being Trump's guy. And now he's trying to portray himself as something a little bit different in the general election. Voters recognize that. That doesn't go over their head.
There was a debate in the primary, and his answer was, when any policy stuff came up, his answer was basically, I'm just going to follow the lead of President Trump. On any policy, he really didn't go anywhere on policy. And then, we find now the primary, here you have this decorated Marine who was in the New York State Assembly, who's clearly conservative, who had worked in the Bush administration at one point, and he ends up getting crushed by this guy, and President Trump endorses Constantino and not him, and Elise Stefanik stays out of it. We find out later that there was a dust-up between Smullen, that candidate, and Elise Stefanik, and that's why she did not endorse him in the race. So this has been an interesting run. This has been an interesting one to follow.
Yeah, it definitely is. And usually that district is a little sleepy, and there isn't that much interest in it. So the fact that there's even some interest, and I will say this too, I think that voters, for the most part, want their member of Congress to represent them, not just toe the party line. Even if you're a Republican, you still want them to have a degree of concern that's specifically about you and your community first. And so, that's an opening, I think, for the Democrat there. But it's still just going to be just a huge, huge uphill climb, no matter what.
Finally, I want to ask you: are you watching this very fun to watch New York Mets team right now?
I know. Who are they?
I know.
It's like
the hell. Where were you? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something, and I don't know if this still holds, but I read something that if they were in the American League, they'd only be 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. But the National League's so much better than the American League right now that they're like 10 games out. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously too little, too late, but,
Listen, I'm not done yet.
The thing that increasingly seems to be a possibility is that we may end up with the most expensive designated hitter in baseball history because these young arms that they have in the outfield. I don't know how Soto comes back and plays the outfield when you've got clearly better defensive players out there right now.
Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, 4 Padres thrown out at home plate.
Yeah, just
preventing runs. I mean, it was something. Yep. So, all right, Ryan, good stuff. Thanks, man. We'll be watching, and we'll talk again next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right,
Bye.
Thank you. Ryan Nobles from NBC. I am out of time. Do you want to anything? All right. Yeah?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Gotta go. Back here, Beth. Thank you. I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
Been a crazy
No
day.
worries.
Back here tomorrow morning. For a number of reasons, Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on the top of your list for any of your flooring needs. This is Bill Keeler. Reason number 1, Sarah's has the area's largest inventory in stock and plenty for you to choose from. Reason number 2, Sarah's offers the best in quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratec, Mannington, and there are so many others. Reason number 3, Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. Reason number 4, it's service. Decades of experience, starting with Sal and Sarah and everybody, the entire team. You get unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And remember, you can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you see why more people buy from the big store. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
A Democratic socialist is a step closer to the U.S. Senate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Angie Nixon scored an upset in Florida, outspent 16-1, and trailing in the polls, she